Hello everyone, I'm Hailey, and today in honor of the Olympics, we're going to be using mini cupcakes to make the Olympic rings. So let's get started. First off, we'll need to make the cake batter. So I have 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, or that's 163 grams. But if you don't have a scale, just make sure you spoon your flour into the measuring cup and then level it off, because that way you won't pack in too much. And then I have 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1 cup of sugar. Now that the dry ingredients are all mixed together, I have another bowl over here, and I'm gonna add in 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. And then I also have 1 egg, 1/2 cup of milk. And I'm also going to add 1/2 tablespoon of vanilla extract because we're making a vanilla cake today. And we're just gonna whisk all those ingredients together. Beat them up. Oh, that was fast. Once they're all uniform in color and they're nicely combined, then add your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients. Get it all out, all of it. You know, I gave my mixer a name, but I didn't give my spatula a name. I have actually multiple spatulas, so I guess it would be a little bit more complicated, but my spatulas are so helpful. I love my spatulas. They need a name. We'll start with this one. We'll name the other ones later. What about this one? I don't know. This is kind of crazy. All right, so now we're just going to mix the wet and the dry ingredients until they're well combined. And when you're combining the wet and the dry ingredients, it's important not to overmix your batter, because otherwise you'll overdevelop the gluten and then you'll get some really tough cupcakes. And nobody wants tough cupcakes. And here is what it looks like. But we are not done. No, we are not. I have, woo, it's kind of hot actually. Hold on. And last but not least, 1/2 cup of hot water. I think mine was actually boiling water. And I'm gonna add that in and then just stir it to combine it. All right, this needs to be mixed a little faster. This is not stirring in. I need to beat it up again. And here you have it. Cake batter is all done. When it's done, it's gonna look like this. It's very runny, but it's all okay. This is exactly how it should look. Ooh. Ooh. All right, so now I've got my mini cupcake pan, and I am just going to line it with these mini cupcake liners. And if you don't have these, you can just grease and flour your pan. Is that what you call them? Cupcake holders? Cupcake tins. Individual cupcake pans. I'm too tired for this. Time, 8 o'clock. Pretty early for me, surprisingly. I once baked until 4 a.m. I was making something kind of complicated, and I started a little bit late, and then it got a lot late. All right, done. So now I'm filling them, and I'm using this little ice cream scooper I've got. I think it's about 1 1/2 tablespoons, but if you don't have one of these, just fill it about 3/4 of the way full. All right, I finished filling my cupcake tin, and now I'm just gonna take a paper towel and wipe off some batter that I spilled on the sides. You don't want that there. And now we're ready to bake them. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to bake these starting at 10 minutes. And then you're going to want to check them, sticking a toothpick in the center, and when it comes out with moist crumbs, then that means they're done. Into the oven. All right, I'm done baking all of my cupcakes. And now I'm gonna set these aside, and we're gonna move on to the frosting. So the frosting is how I'm going to differentiate between the different circle colors. I used my basic vanilla frosting for this. I'll link to the recipe in the description box, and also all of the ingredients for all of this are in the description box. So I've just separated that up evenly into 5 bowls, and now I'm going to dye them. So I finished dyeing my frostings the different colors, And I'm gonna set these aside because we are going to start assembling the rings. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your mini cupcakes and just make a little circle. And then I'm gonna use 7 more cupcakes to make another circle. It's working! What? The circles. It's working, it's working, it's working, it's working. All right, as you can see, I have finished putting my cupcakes where I want them to be. So let's just get into the frosting part. I have my different colored frostings right here, all put in piping bags. Or if you don't have piping bags, you can just use sandwich baggies, or you could probably also just spread it on with a knife. All right, so the first ring is blue. I'm just gonna put a little dab of frosting on the ones that I'm gonna frost blue. And then this one is gonna be yellow because it's interlocking with the blue one. I am going to frost these more later. I'm just frosting a little dab so I can kind of get a good picture. And then this one, I think this one's gonna be black. This is very confusing. And I think I've got it all figured out. So now it's just gonna be fun. We're just gonna have some fun. And I'm gonna frost a nice little flat layer of the color that I chose for each cupcake. The color that I chose. I mean, just the color. All right, starting with blue. And voila, the mini cupcake Olympic rings are all finished. This is exciting. I am gonna take one of the red ones because the red circle actually has 1 extra cupcake, but don't tell anyone. I feel like I just want to stick the whole thing in my mouth because they're tiny. I'm not gonna do that though. This cupcake is just out of this world. It is so, so soft. And the flavor is fantastic. Everything is just perfect. I'm serious. Just look at them. Well, thank you so much for baking with me today. I hope you all are enjoying this year's Olympics. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell if you would like to see more videos like this one. And I will see you next time. Welcome to my kitchen. Hello. All right. Testing. Okay. I'm not a big fan of icing. Nah, I'm a total big fan of icing. What am I saying? I love icing.